Good morning, my dear children. Welcome to physics class. In the previous class, we discussed about pressure, factors affecting pressure, and the examples of pressure in our day-to-day life. That is the pressure exerted by a solid. Do you remember the formula? Pressure is equal to thrust divided by area. Why the solids are exerting pressure? Suppose you keep a book on the table. The weight of the book will act in the downward direction, that is exactly perpendicular to the table. That means the book can exert a force exactly perpendicular to the table, and we call that force as thrust. Thrust divided by area is the pressure exerted by the book on the table. Do you know liquids also have weight? So liquids can also exert pressure. So today we will discuss about liquid pressure, that is the pressure exerted by a liquid. We know solids exert pressure only in the downward direction due to its weight, because the weight of the object is acting in the downward direction in the case of solids. But in the case of liquids, these liquids can exert pressure in all direction. There is a main difference between the pressure exerted by a solid and the pressure exerted by a liquid. Solids can exert pressure in the downward direction, but liquids can exert pressure in all direction. In all direction means liquid can exert pressure in the downward direction. Liquid can exert pressure on the walls of the container. Liquids can exert pressure in the upward direction also. That means liquids can exert pressure in all directions. This is the main point of today's class. We will discuss each point. That means liquids can exert pressure in the downward direction. That is one point. Liquid can exert pressure on the walls of the container. Second point. The liquid can exert pressure in the upward direction, third point, and liquid can exert pressure in all direction. These 4 points we will discuss with the help of activities. Some activities are explained in your textbook. So with the help of that we will learn this 4 points. So let us move to the first point. First point, liquid exerts pressure at the bottom of the container. How can we prove that liquids exert pressure at the bottom of the container? That means in the downward direction. Liquids can exert pressure in the downward direction. How can we prove that? With the help of one activity we can prove that. Take a glass tube or PVC pipe. Tie a balloon at the lower end. Pour some water into that pipe. The balloon will bulge out due to the pressure of water column. Here the force on the balloon will be equal to weight of the water column. That means the length of the water column. See that picture. When we add water, what will happen to the balloon? It will bulge out. Why the balloon get bulge out? Because the water is exerting a pressure in the downward direction. So we can conclude that the liquids can exert pressure in the downward direction, or the liquids exert pressure at the bottom of the container. Next slide. Next we want to prove a liquid exert pressure on the walls of the container. How can we prove that liquid exert pressure on the walls of the container? See the picture. we have one tube. Okay, take a glass tube, closed at one end and having an opening at its side near the bottom. Tie a balloon at the side opening of the tube. Pour some water in the tube, then the balloon will bulge out. This shows that the liquid exerts pressure on the walls of the container. This is the second activity. This proves that liquids can exert pressure on the walls of the container. The liquid can exert pressure in the downward direction also. You can experience this with the help of an activity. Take a ball and a bucket of water. Try to immerse the ball into the water. What do you feel? You will experience an upward push on your hand. This proves water can exert pressure in the upward direction. This activity proves that water can exert pressure in the upward direction. From the previous activities, two activities we discussed, from that activities we can say that liquids or water can exert pressure in the downward direction. Liquids can exert pressure on the walls of the container, and this activity proves liquid can exert pressure in the upward direction also. That means liquid can exert pressure in all direction. Okay. One more activity is there in your textbook. Liquid exert pressure in all direction. This is the second activity given in your textbook. Take a balloon. Okay. Make holes in all direction by inserting a pin. Fill it with water. What will happen to the water? The water will flow out through each hole. This shows that the water in the balloon exert pressure in all direction. So we can say that liquid exert pressure in all direction, but the solid can exert pressure only in the downward direction. That is the main difference. Liquids can exert pressure in all direction. All these activities that we discussed are very, very important. So read the textbook and study all these activities. Next point, factors affecting liquid pressure. What are the factors that affect liquid pressure? The first factor is height of the liquid column. If the height increases, what will happen to the pressure? That we will discuss through one activity. Next factor, the density of the liquid. If the density of the liquid increases, what will happen to the pressure exerted by the liquid? That also we will discuss through one activity. So let us discuss the first factor. Liquid pressure increases with the height of the liquid column. That means if the height of the water level increases, the pressure exerted by the water also increases. Can you prove that? How will we prove that? Remember the previous experiment. See the picture. Take a glass tube. In this glass tube, the two ends are opened. Tie a balloon at the lower end. Pour some water and the balloon will bulge out due to the pressure of the water column. That we already discussed in the previous experiment. In this experiment, you add more water. What will happen to the balloon? The balloon will bulge more. If the length of the water column increases, the pressure on the balloon also increases. So this activity proves that if the length of the water column increases, pressure on the balloon also increases. Next factor that affects liquid pressure is the density of the liquid. Liquid pressure increases with the increase in density of the liquid. How can we prove that liquid pressure increases with the increase in density of the liquid? That means if the density of the liquid is more, that liquid can exert more pressure. Okay. Take two glass tubes. One end of the glass tube tie with a balloon. Okay, two identical glass tube you have to take. In one glass tube you fill milk, and in one glass tube you fill alcohol in the same level. Okay, alcohol is less dense than milk. The density of milk is greater than the density of alcohol. Pour some alcohol in one tube and milk in other tube, that we already discussed. The balloon attached with milk bulges more. Why the balloon attached with milk bulges more? See the first sentence, alcohol is less dense than milk. That means the density of milk is more. That's why the balloon bulges more. From that, what can we conclude? If the density is more, the liquid can exert more pressure. Okay, here in this experiment, the balloon attached with the milk bulges more. The liquid pressure increases with the increase in density, because the density of milk is greater than the density of alcohol. So all these activities are very important. So you study these activities, read the textbook and do the homework. Okay, read the textbook, page number 47, 48 and 49, and do the exercise questions in page number 57, question number 27 to 33. Okay children, thank you.